Oh, my God.
It could be worse, though.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Well, I'll read all the emails from the radio stations tomorrow. But yeah, like, where are you? We don't have your feed. Well, I'm sorry. I'm on my backup system right now. Thank God I was smart enough when I built my studio. I duplicated almost everything. So I'm on my backup system right now. So, Paul, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Well, when I was a little boy, I lived in a haunted house. All kinds of things were happening to me. I got pushed into a heater. The entities, there was one time where it was a female entity, was calling me by my middle name, Dale. And she was saying, Dale, come here. And I was looking out the bedroom window as she was saying this, and there was an orange grove out there, and she was trying to entice me to go into that orange grove. And just all kinds of terrible things happened to me. One time in that house, it was on Effie Street in Fresno. I was attacked by what looked like a tea kettle with rollers. It was real weird. And the window opened up halfway, and the snout pointed towards me and hit me with a mist, and the next day I had bronchitis.
Oh, wow.
So when I got older, I was wondering if that was just childhood nightmares, or did that really happen to me? So I started reading a lot of paranormal books and started getting into all kinds of different things, UFOs, cryptids, ghosts, poltergeists, you name it. And as I went into the Army from 73 to 76, I was working with the Drug Suppression Team, CID, Criminal Investigation Division in Germany. So that helped me with my investigative skills. And then I had a 3-year break. And then in 1979, I got into military intelligence, and I was a 97 Bravo intelligence analyst at the Photo Interpretation Center in Korea. And I was working with image interpreters. And their job is to look at our reconnaissance aerial photographs and satellite photographs of North Korea and Red China. And I had a top-secret SBI clearance, which is Special Background Investigation. And on one particular day, 6 photographs came in, and each photograph represented a video that was taken in outer space by our satellites. And on 6 photos were different shaped UFOs.
Oh, wow.
Cigar-shaped, disc-shaped, one that looks like a globe, etc. And on each photograph, on the back side, it said intelligent movement. So that told me right there, even though Project Blue Book closed shop, our military intelligence was still looking into UFO activity. And so I knew at that point in time right there that UFOs is a real thing. And our military was still studying it. And those photographs, all I had to do was issue a number to them. And it went to the DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, and from there, it went to the CIA and into a black hole, and never heard anything more about it again. So, from 1979 to 1986, I was in the military, and then I got out in 86, and I was an Op 4 opposing forces instructor teaching the Soviet threat. And little did I know I was going to become a paranormal investigator. And I was already a journalist. I was writing for various publications. I was in the comic book business and everything else. And even during my 3-year break, I was in the dancing business. I was a dancer.
Wow.
So
now, wait a minute. Now, Paul, wait a minute. Okay. Basically, you were doing stuff like the DOD, for the while you were in the military. Okay, because I had a friend that was with the DOD for like 13, 14 years, and he decided to become an actor, and and quit, and they didn't think that was a smart move for him to quit. Okay, so you went from that, you went into writing, you got into comic books, and now dancing. Okay, well, let's keep and the paranormal. That's a big jump there.
Yeah, during my 3-year break from the Army, from 76, 79, I was into disco dancing, and I danced 205 hours, 8.5 days for the Guinness Book of World Records, and was featured in Ripley's Believe It or Not. So, in fact, if you Google Paul Dale Roberts Disco, you'll actually see the Ripley's Believe It or Not cartoon. You'll see some old pictures of me back in my disco days.
Now, what happens now when you hear some of the old Bee Gees music? What do you start breaking into the dance?
No, it was like I was kind of glad when disco died. It's like I was tired of the music and everything else. So, and my wife, she listens to more modern type music, so that's what I listen to. It's like, the top hits now, So, and go every once in a while, like I'll go to Ross clothing store and they'll play some old disco songs, and it just makes me kind of laugh. And it's like, that's my past. This is me now. So yeah.
Yeah, I just remember the Hellracious, bell bottoms. And the checkered pants and the checkered, and the big collars and the lace, sleeves on. Oh, yeah, I remember those days. Disco didn't last too long, thank God.
No, it didn't last long at all. In fact, in my last show in disco, I was actually booed off stage when disco died. And I should have known something because some of the guys were wearing Disco Sucks T-shirts. So I said, I think disco's dead.
Duh.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I didn't know I was going to become a paranormal investigator, but my whole path was leading that way. And I met one person. They said, "Hey, you know a lot about the paranormal," because I read a lot of books. I was reading Brad Steiger, Eric von Däniken, got into the ancient alien theory and all that other stuff. And so I found myself going to this ghost hunting place, and I wrote an article about it. And it was the article was published in a magazine in England. So they kept me on board, and they said, "Hey, we want you to write our stories." And somewhere along the line, I became the owner of that company, because the owner that was at the time, she quit, and she moved on to different things. So, and to this very day, I still have Halo Paranormal Investigations with my wife. She's a co-owner. And we get a lot of phone calls. We have the paranormal hotline that people call us on. And in fact, right now, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and today's Wednesday, Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures has actually took one of our cases in Antelope, the town of Antelope. And the lady, Layla, she sent a series of pictures where her hands, her arms, her legs are all bruised up. On her legs, there was blood running down her legs, and supposedly a demon attacked her. So Zach Baggins and his crew are over there right now, and they're bringing in a priest from New York to bless the house.
Interesting.
So, yeah, so they're doing that right now.
Are you?
And we've been. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, have you ever been worried about having an attachment from one of these entities? Doing what you do.
I think I got to the point where when I bless a house, I do a Catholic blessing, and my wife does a metaphysical cleansing. But we embrace all religions, Hindu, Buddha, you name it. And if a family's Buddha, we will do a cleansing in the Buddha way to respect the family. And I'm very successful in cleansing. And what I do is like I said, the Catholic blessing of the house. And I would say about 98% that I'm successful, where the people call me and they say, "Hey, Paul, you got rid of the demon." And then my wife, she does the metaphysical cleansing after my cleansing. And also, too, if a person has an attachment, I actually give them a full submersion baptism right in their bathtub. We pray over the bathtub. We throw some holy water in there. We bless the water. And we give them a full submersion baptism, which is a basic form of exorcism. And a lot of people with attachments will tell me that the attachment has left. And when you give a full submersion baptism, it's the attachment will leave. It won't stay on you. So I don't have any problems with demons. That's why my nickname is the Demon Warrior, because that's my specialty. And when I Ghost Adventures, when they took my antelope case, they told me, "Please don't bless the house." And so they went and they said, "We want to bring our priest in." And I said, "Okay." Plus, they want to do a TV show. So the occupant was fine with it. She says, "Yeah, I'll wait till Ghost Adventures gets here, and we're going to get special thanks in the credits." So
interesting.
For finding the case for them.
Now, hey, hang on for 1 minute. Hey, James, are you still out there?
Yeah, I'm still here, buddy.
Okay, that information you gave out about Area 51, the event being canceled,
Yeah.
I'm reading now, update.
Update.
Yeah, it has not been canceled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, according to Ken. The camping will still be provided, and everything is going on as planned.
So the festival's still on then?
Oh, yes.
Huh. Okay.
Okay,
Interesting.
you must have read some disinformation.
Yeah, that was a reliable where I get my news from, but yeah, that's good to know. Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to jump in there. I'm sorry, Paul.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. I wanted to know that. So that's really good.
Yeah,
I did my... I'm sorry?
I just, we just announced here a half an hour ago that it was canceled. And, I just now read from Kim, your publisher, that no, it's not canceled. So, I mean, I take that as very, important news to share.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's very important. And I did my own investigation at Area 51, and it was a very interesting trip, and I'm glad I went there. Of course, I didn't go into Area 51. I went to the back gate. But I interviewed some of the people, and one lady that worked at the Alien Inn, she allowed us to go ahead and camp out in the parking lot. And before we did our investigation at the back gate, she took us in her ATV, I believe that's what it's called, and we followed her into a little village that's abandoned. And she said it's very haunted, so we did an investigation there. We did a ghost hunt there. And we got some EVP, so that was pretty cool. And then the next day we went to the back gate, and I did an interview with her, and she claims that that she saw a flying vehicle that came at eye level with her, and she could see the pilot was a human pilot, and he waved at her and took off. And she said the aerial vehicle sort of looked like a almost disc-shaped. So, but it had wings and was able to hover. So, and she swears up and down. And also, too, I talked to another person who said he actually witnessed it when it happened to her. So that was kind of interesting. And then when we got to the back gate, that was really interesting because we had our binoculars out, we were taking photographs, blah, blah, blah. And as I was